It's a different kind of rush when you're with me. I was tempted by your touch when you gripped me.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Them Football Guys. It's your host, Aloha Baba Yaga. You already know what it is. Today we're bringing to you week 10 waiver wire. Week 9 is behind us. You know, it was a rough week for some if you're a Cowboys fan, a great week for others if you're a Commanders fan. A lot of blowouts this weekend, a lot of injuries, so there's a lot of people to pick up, a lot of people to drop, and a lot of moving pieces this week. So let's get right into this. We're gonna start from quarterbacks, get into the wide receivers, move on to the running backs, and then finish it off with tight ends. So let's get into this. So for our quarterbacks, we have Daniel Jones yet again. Daniel Jones is kind of a roller coaster to have, but his rushing ability can't be ignored at this point, and it's getting to a point where as his matchups get easier or intermediate, I suppose to say, his ability to rush will, the rushing upside will, show up there. That rushing upside means rushing touchdowns, which means more points. He doesn't have to be good at real football. He just has to be good at fantasy football, and for the most part, that's what matters. The next quarterback we have is Russell Wilson. Another quarterback that we had replacement for Justin Fields 2 weeks ago, and he's been pretty decent as far as I'm concerned. Nothing too crazy one way or the other, but he is a good pickup if you're missing a quarterback, if you lost Dak Prescott, if you're tired of Trevor Lawrence, if you're just realizing Bo Nix is a better quarterback against subpar teams. I do think Russell Wilson is a good start and play, especially with that Steelers offense, who for the most part are playing the Commanders defense, who have been doing pretty well, but haven't actually been a good defense. So look out for Russell Wilson. Moving on to the wide receivers, I think what I said was second. We have Cedric Tillman, who's actually on bye this week, and I believe it is. The next receiver was Parker Washington for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even though I'm not a big fan of the Jaguars offense overall, primarily Trevor Lawrence, I do feel like his target share has seen an increase in the target share since like 2 weeks ago, since like the game against New England. He's seeing a larger usage, and with that comes opportunity. And sometimes all you really need is opportunity to, scale into something sensible, especially if you're in that rough part of your season or that rough part of your weeks. So Parker Washington is the second wide receiver to look out for. I think right now is probably probably one of your best opportunities to get him. The third wide receiver on this list, even though I was going to stop at 2, is going to be Cedric Wilson. He's actually not needed at all, but with Chris Olave possibly missing time and there being a wide receiver depth shortage at this New Orleans Saints, it is something to consider because it's a gamble, but there is no definitive answer to who gets the work in that part. So let's move on to the next. You also might want to consider Calvin Austin, but I don't think Calvin Austin's season started yet. But yeah. So let's move on to the running backs. And for our first running back, we have who's this? We have Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert's still on the list because the trade deadline is fast approaching. We're expecting him. We're still gambling on the idea that he moves. There's no 100% guarantee on that, but if he does move, especially if there's a team like Dallas, probably not Dallas anymore because they don't have a quarterback at the moment. But if he does move to a running back needy team, he automatically goes from a non-factor to at least a serviceable running back if he's the running back one, because his talent does translate well. Another running back we have is Esteem. With the running game and the Broncos being a little iffy and Jalil McLaughlin looking a little banged up, Esteem looks to take a larger chunk of the role in that offense. And with that offense being, quite mixy and there'll be no consistency in the running game, the Broncos might look to shift it up in the coming future, especially after that disgusting blowout against the Ravens. So something to look out for there. Also, moving on to our what used to be our most scarce position, but nowadays seems like one of the most highly populated positions is the tight end. We have Mike Gesicki and Juwan Johnson. This one speaks for itself. Gesicki has seen, since T. Higgins' departure, Gesicki has seen an increase in targets. His target share has been pretty good. And as long as he has targets from what is a high passing offense like the Bengals, as long as he has targets, has work, he has a lot of opportunity and a lot of upside, especially if you were a person who didn't draft a tight end earlier in the season or at the start of the season and haven't gotten around to picking one up because you were comfortable with the tight ends you had. Gesicki's a good switch around. Same thing with Juwan Johnson. As long as Derek Carr is the quarterback, there will be a lot of dump offs. There will be a lot of quick movements, and especially with Chris Olave's brain turned to mush, I like Juwan Johnson more than ever now. This would probably be a great time to get him and put him in your lineup. A dark horse in terms of the tight end race would be Theo Johnson. Theo Johnson is looking to increase his work share with that offense, and he's finally being respected as a part of the offense. But the downside with Theo Johnson is that he still does play for Daniel Jones. 6 targets doesn't automatically mean 6 valuable targets. Because Theo Johnson, though his targets he's not new to targets because he's 5 targets, 0, 4 and 6, but he's only had 1 game in double digits, even with all those targets. So something to note that if Theo Johnson is not getting at least 6 targets, and even in a game with 6 targets, when he has double digits, he scored a touchdown. Touchdowns aren't a guarantee with the Giants, so something to note. But that concludes this Wire video, man. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification bell, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. Make us one of your sources. We on Apple Music and Spotify. We everywhere you want us to be, man. Leave us a note, follow us on our personal pages. They'll be down below in the comments. Let us know how your season's going. Let us know if you want that playoff push. Let us know if you're winning. Let us know if you're losing. Let us know if you've already tapped out for the season and you're just looking for something. We got bets coming to y'all every weekend. We got rises and fallers. We got lives going on where y'all can interact with us. And we going to Vegas next week, and we're going to be going big in the lobbies, trying to get some sports betting plays on that you can only get going in Vegas. So thank y'all for tuning in. Them football guys. We are out of here. Oh, I didn't even hang up.